Hey guys, welcome to Healthy Life Designing. I am your host, Darian. I am so excited. As you can see, I have a pretty amazing background because I am in a very cool place today. I am at a recreational cooking school, and today we're going to be talking about ways to simplify some meals, specifically some bowls. And we have an amazing, talented, beautiful chef, Trisha Wheeler, who is going to be sharing her special gift with us and help us break it all down, the foods that you can use, how to simplify it, and how to make it tasty and yummy for your family and your friends. And we're gonna have Trisha joining us when we come back.
Hi, I'm Amanda Wattenberg, Regional Director at Ohio Guidestone. Do you or does someone you know have a substance abuse disorder? Have you been thinking about getting help, but don't know where to start? It takes a lot of courage to ask for help, but it's the most important step you can take. If you think you know everything that's available in Fairfield County, think again. Like other chronic diseases, addiction can be managed successfully. Treatment enables people to counteract addiction's powerful, disruptive effects on the brain's behavior and regain control of their lives. Even if it takes multiple attempts, treatment does work and people do recover from addiction every day. So keep trying because your life matters. You matter, and we're here to help. Call 211 and ask for the treatment resources available right here in Fairfield County.
This message is brought to you by the Fairfield County Adam H. Board.
Hey guys, we are back. This is Healthy Life Designing, and as you can see, we are in, oh my gosh, one of the most gorgeous kitchens I've been in a long time with Chef Trisha Wheeler, and she is going to kind of walk us through the steps of your ingredients, the foods that you can use for bowls.
Yes, so excited you're here today. We decided to do 3 bowls. So I'm going to show you a protein bowl, a beautiful soup, and a veggie bowl. I'm going to use some grains, and I'm going to get started with a couple of techniques. And I always say what makes a good cook is if you just learn some techniques. You don't have to overcomplicate things or make things hard on yourself. You just need to know how to get the most flavor out of whatever it is you're cooking.
Okay.
And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put some just nice diced up chicken breast on with some simple olive oil, a little garlic, a little salt and pepper. And so that's going to saute for us.
Okay.
And then at the same time, we're going to make it smell really good in here because we're going to make some soup. And I love to make soups and show people how to make soups. So you need something savory to go in the pot first.
Okay.
So our onions are going to go in.
And that's a whole onion?
That's a whole onion, okay? Some ginger, and I can give you all these recipes that you can post and everything too. Gonna get the chicken now that the olive oil has started to heat up a little bit, put the chicken in to saute. I've got my onions and I've got ginger. I love cooking with fresh ginger. It's so fragrant, it's so good for you, and it makes this soup. And this soup that we're gonna do is a carrot ginger soup with ingredients out of your spice cabinet.
Yes.
So really simple things you can find at any grocery store: carrots, ginger, onion, garlic, and then the contents of a good spice cabinet. So we'll let that saute for a second, and then we'll add 2 types of carrots. We've got, I've just made it easy on myself, and I had a bag of little baby carrots. So I roasted those with a little cumin and olive oil, and that's one of my tricks. When I'm roasting vegetables, you always want to roast up at 450 degrees.
Okay.
And then you want to give it a nice dose of olive oil and put some spices on there, because that oil, see all that good stuff in the corner of my pan right there? All of this is going to get scraped into my bowl, and that's like a cumin oil now.
Okay.
And so that's going to be great. So we're going to also do some greens here. And so I've got a combination of beet greens and kale. 2 greens. So easy to cook greens. Again, back to olive oil. Give it a little bit.
Okay. And
drizzle, and this is going to be like
and it's
5
kale.
minutes.
And
It's
people
kale.
think kale is so hard to make, for one. And they're really intimidated by it. So, right there you go, folks.
Then we're going to put in our veggie bowl, we're going to go for all these roasted veggies. We're going to go for some sprouts, some greens, and some tomatoes.
Awesome.
So, got our greens simmering here. I've made 2 grains. I've made barley and a quinoa.
Okay.
So the nice thing about these, you just simmer them in water, and when they're tender, they're great. My other favorite tip to share with people is my tasting spoons.
I love those tiny spoons.
No, so you'll be a better cook if you can put these spoons right next to your stovetop and taste everything as you go.
Okay.
So I'm going to stir this chicken here for a second. Okay. We're going to put some carrots in here and cover this with some broth. Put this in here. And we're going to make this beautiful carrot soup really easily. So it's got the onions, the ginger, the roast carrots,
And then the olive oil.
and then some of the olive oil, and then I'm going to put some broth. And the nice thing when you're making a soup, you can use whatever broth you have. Veggie broth, chicken broth, water, any of those broths, just to cover these ingredients. And then let this simmer.
Oh my gosh, it smells so good in here.
And then we're going to add some spices. So some curry powder.
Okay.
And I like to do equal parts. So I'll do a spoonful of curry powder, a spoonful of turmeric, some cumin. The one you don't do a spoonful of is the cayenne.
Yeah, that might be spicy.
Too much, too much. So just a little bit of cayenne and some smoky paprika, a little bit of sea salt, and then this is just going to simmer. We'll blend it and we're going to have a beautiful soup.
Oh, wow.
That easy.
That's so easy.
A little bit of that one and a spoonful of this one. And with that. Now we've got a lot of good things cooking here. We're going to make these greens get nice and wilted and flavorful. And that chicken, do you notice I'm not stirring the chicken?
Yeah.
My husband loves to stir things.
So
He
does
thinks he's helping me, and he's always up here stirring away, and I'm like, stop, stop, because I want there to be some caramelization on what I'm cooking. And if you're stirring, you're steaming, and you're moving things around, and it doesn't get those proteins to stick to the bottom of the pan and get that browning. So stirring isn't our best thing when we're trying to get a little nice caramelization on something. So you'll have to turn it once or twice, but not constant.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know that, and I thought that when I make chicken, if I'm sautéing it, that I've got to keep moving it because I'm worried it's going to be completely burned on one side.
And stuff. So, you know, just getting that heat right, letting it do its thing, and then when we roast the vegetables, that's another thing I think people have a little bit of trouble with. When I roasted these, I did the red peppers and the yellow peppers, and I did broccoli. I'm known to put all kinds of different vegetables on my tray and just turn the heat up to 450. You want to roast it at a 450-degree oven. Put this in with, again, that olive oil and those nice spices. Put it up high in your oven so that it can get some browning, and maybe about 30 minutes, you should pull it out. Everything will smell good. Okay. And now these can get tossed into our bowls. They could get tossed into a stir fry. They could get mixed with your greens and your grains. You have infinite ideas of what you can do once you pull out a roasted vegetable tray.
So when you roast your vegetables, you just put it in and you leave it. You don't go in and stir it or
Maybe
flip it around.
one time.
Okay.
If it's butternut squash and some of the squashes, they need a toss. These vegetables you could just leave. And another thing people do that I think prohibits getting really good flavor out of their vegetables is they pile them all on top of each other. You really want a single layer, and you want to see some of your sheet tray. If it has some space, you're going to get that, again, that good caramelization and that good browning.
Okay.
So I'll stick this one here. We did the same thing with some chickpeas to get a little bit of another texture. When I'm thinking about these bowls, I'm thinking about flavors, colors, textures, crunch, all these different things together. So roasted up some chickpeas and caramelized some onions on this tray to stir in with our chicken bowl to give flavor and texture with that.
Okay.
So this soup going. These greens are almost done. Greens are really simple too. I think people stick to like one thing, like think white rice or brown rice, but then there's so many ancient grains. Farro, spelt berries, barley. Barley is a heart healthy one that I love to use, so I've got barley going. 15 minutes, simmering water, and 1 onion I stuck in there, just for a little flavor.
Okay.
Let me give the chicken a stir now.
I've never made that.
So see what happens when I didn't stir it?
Yes.
That's what I love.
Okay.
So this will be done in a minute. And another thing I notice people do wrong a lot, like if they're trying to cook chicken breast or something, is they cook it at like 350 degrees in the oven and it dries out. And then it's not juicy and flavorful. Higher heat, shorter cooking times. So this little bit of sauteed chicken, it has about 2 or 3 more minutes on it, and that's going to be done. And the juices are going to run clear, and it's going to stay nice and flavorful. I think people are always thinking, I've got to keep cooking chicken and make sure it's done, and then it gets dry.
Yes.
So trying to keep flavor and make everything really good. But the nice thing about this idea of these bowls, this is dinner in 15 minutes. Which I love. Simple, and you can use any green you have on hand, any grain that's in your pantry. I do this thing where I love to clear out the contents of my refrigerator and roast every vegetable I have in that icebox before I buy more and turn that into a dinner.
Okay. That's a fun project when you need to clean everything out.
Right? Good, delicious and beneficial. So the soup, you can see the soup simmering away. And these greens, just in a few minutes, these are wilted and nice. I like them at this stage where they're just wilted and just nice and a little crisp and still really vibrant green.
Yes.
I don't like it. Some people say, oh, I didn't like when my parents made greens because they were so soggy and wilted and brown. That's not the kind of greens we want.
Okay.
So those are nice. Our chicken's done, and we'll be ready to serve bowls soon.
Yay!
So this is great.
So while we have all of this getting a little bit more cooked, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we are going to talk about how to put the masterpiece bowl together.
Can't wait.
We will be right back.
Dagger Law has been part of the Lancaster community for more than 110 years. This is where we live and work. You'll see us at festivals, sporting events, and all around town. We consider our clients as friends, and we walk alongside you through challenging times. Whether you're a growing business, a changing family, facing litigation, planning your future, or dealing with land issues, we're right here. We are local. We are trusted. We are experienced. Dagger Law.
Hey guys, we're back. This is Healthy Life Designing. We took a quick break to work with Chef Trisha Wheeler on the soup that she has created, which smells so amazing in this place. If you guys even knew, but can you talk about it?
I'd love to. So what we did was we simmered those carrots and onions and garlic and ginger with the broth and then let that get really soft and then put the immersion blender in, pureed it up till it's this nice soup consistency, and then to make it rich and luxurious at the end, we added some coconut milk. And now it's ready for the most important step, the tasting. So I told you why I like to have tasting spoons right beside the stove so that you can do this job. You can always, I have to say it's pretty good. So I don't even think I need to change anything. I have my salt nearby, pepper if I felt like it needed a little bit more. But you can always taste things before you serve it to somebody. You have a chance. You have 30-second chance to get it all in balance. So I love that. I'm excited to serve that to you. And then let's put together the veggie bowl.
Yes.
What do you think?
Yes.
Okay. So this one's going to start with a base of barley. And so this is that nice steamed barley. It makes a lot, so you can use if you're serving like 4 people, maybe a cup and a half.
Okay.
And it's going to bloom up and you're going to have a lot of barley. So let's put I always think like a third of the grains in the bottom. And then for this bowl, we're going to use all these roasted vegetables. So we're going to get all this good oil that I made on the tray soaked into these veggies and mix these up now. Thank you for grabbing my spoons. I had those for serving there. And then the chickpeas, and now this has all got a ton of flavor. So this will go in next. This is the roasted peppers, the chickpeas, the onions, and the broccoli.
Yes.
So this will be a great veggie bowl. And we were talking on the break about eating the rainbow. And so we've got a lot of the colors of the rainbow going in this. There's a couple roasted whole garlic cloves in here that you mash those around and you get a whole bunch of flavor.
Oh my goodness.
So you're seeing my style of getting...
And we talked about eating with your eyes.
Oh yes, I love that. People eat with their eyes first, so if your food looks good, and then they eat with their nose, so if it smells good, and then lastly they eat with their taste. So if it tastes good, I always feel like you've hit a home run. So this is another kind of luxurious vegetable to put in. This is the roasted golden beets.
And how do you make? Because I've never learned how to make beets, and I think they're intimidating.
Yes.
I don't know why.
They're not.
But they're so gorgeous.
So how I do them, I think my method is so simple. I use my little steamer basket, my little metal steamer basket, put a couple inches of water, put the whole beets, just wash them, put the whole beets, cut the greens off, and then just put the whole beet in there to steam. And once it's in there steaming, I keep refilling the water maybe twice, and it's steams for about 25 minutes till you can pierce a knife in and it comes out really easy. You can tell it's cooked through. And then I submerge mine for something like this. I submerge them under cold water, and then I'm able to peel them really easy and slice them into wedges. I was wondering,
I'm like, when does the skin come off? How do you do that?
Yeah, so you don't even have to peel them ahead of time. So got some beets, and then I love to put a mix of some crunchy fresh elements in that haven't been cooked, because I think that mixture of things that haven't been cooked and things that have gives everything some texture. So I have some fresh mint, some fresh cilantro, and some onion sprouts. Wow. So that again will give us our nice mix. Gracious. So this is going to need a little pinch of salt, a couple grinds of pepper. If you like hot pepper, you could put some crushed red pepper on this. You can spice this how you want, and this will give a little pepper, a little pinch of salt, and this bowl is ready to try in a moment. And then our last bowl we're going to do down here is this protein chicken bowl here. And back to that same kind of idea, I'm going to go right in front of you. I'm going to get the basis of this one. My grain is that brown rice and that quinoa. And so I'm going to put that brown rice and quinoa in here. And this just had to cook for 15 minutes. So really simple to cook that. I'm going to add some of this nice brown chicken that we got. This is just chicken breast, nice and lean. And then these are, I got two of the greens in here. I've got the beet greens. So the top of these beets are then sauteed. So you could make your beets for one meal, keep the greens for another meal, and they're actually my favorite green. Of all the greens I cook, the beet greens are my absolute favorite. Tons of flavor, really good. I'll saute them and put them with eggs in the morning. Yeah, they're really good. You just feel good looking at this and thinking. Now, when I look at this doesn't seem as appetizing as this to me. So back to eating with your eyes. So now this is where my tomatoes that I have pan-seared. So I've just put these in a dry skillet until they get a little blistered, and then put a little olive oil on them afterwards. And now this starts to make this really pretty.
Oh, this is inspiring.
And you know
this
how...
is art.
Yeah, thank
It
you.
is.
Thank you.
It's so gorgeous.
And then you know how we were talking about like getting in healthy things that you want into your diet, and bowls are a good way to do that because you can get a lot of different textures. So now I've got my flax seeds going in and my hemp seeds. Mm-hmm. So I've got both of those, and then now that's going to add my crunch, my texture here. I've got the crispy chickpeas, but now I've got these nice seeds in here. And then I've got a broccoli sprout here. Okay. So add a few broccoli sprouts. And then just for, again, that texture, crunch and stuff, I'm going to add some arugula and fresh spinach that has not been cooked. So now I get some cooked greens. I get 4 greens into this. Which makes me feel good.
And then the connection you get to create with the food, the energetics of food. And I think that's important for people because everybody's rushing and we get away from, we want here and now and I have to work and I have to pick the kids up and I don't have time to make anything. But when you do take the time to work with your own hands to create your own food, there's that energy exchange. And it's grounding.
And it's relaxing. And you feel good. Nothing makes me feel better in a day than when I have something nourishing to feed my family. And I know everybody's on the move with lots of things that they're committed to. And these bowls work really well to be able to put them into a metal bowl like this, send your child off to their...
So when you're rushing, you have it made, but...
Yes, you can put it together and they can eat on the go, but know that it's something that you feel good about serving them.
And then they can eat more of it. And then the other beauty about all of this too is that you can create some, but you can have some for a different meal.
Exactly.
In a different day.
I love that when you can build on your meals, so that make some extra chicken breast that turns into something the next day. Roast extra vegetables that go into a stir fry, so you can get that economy of spending that time and energy and being able to build into more. Oh, completely affordable. I mean, it's less expensive to do this kind of thing than it is to, go out to eat, and the health benefits too.
Right. What was it that inspired you? Because we're at the Seasoned Farmhouse, which is your cooking school. Yes. What inspired all of this?
I had always wanted to go to culinary school. When I told my parents this when I was graduating from high school, they said that's a hobby, and so you have to pick something new. And so I had a whole different career for 10 years, but the whole time I had it, I was cooking and entertaining on the weekends. And when my business was acquired, my husband looked at me, he goes, "What do you want to do?" I said, "The only thing I've ever wanted to do is go to culinary school." He's like, "You got to do it." So moved to New York and went to the French Culinary Institute, which is now the International Culinary Institute. And I thought while I was there, it was this wonderful place. I thought, I'm going to bottle that energy, that culinary energy, and I want to teach home cooks. I want to help my friends. I want to help a meal plan. I want to help them be able to do these simple techniques. And so I thought, I'll try to bring that back to Columbus. So I've been doing it for 8 years ever since.
And can you talk about some of the really cool things that you have to offer here?
So we do all kinds of classes. We put 42 new classes on every season. And so I always think to myself, am I going to run out of ideas? But then you get interested in something else. So, like, for example,
a new trend will happen. I mean,
I teach this class. I teach sheet tray meals because I think if people can realize how easy it is to make the whole meal on a sheet tray and roast it up at 450 and pull it out, you haven't dirtied a lot of dishes. You haven't made, it's so easy. Yes. It's so easy. And so I try to do that for people, give them those skills. And then we also, if you're into entertaining or if you're into, we have one coming up, beginning Korean. We try to do ethnic cooking. I have an Around the World series. So we try to dive in lots of different ways.
Oh, that's awesome. What is your favorite thing to cook?
Oh, my favorite thing to cook? Oh, geez. Let's see. If I had to say my favorite thing, I love to make paella. And I love to make paella because it's a communal dish and you can make it for a crowd and bring it to the table and all the work is done. It can bake. I love those things that you don't have to fuss with and you can entertain and everybody likes. It has chicken, it has vegetables, it has sausages, seafood. So there's something for everybody. Yeah. Serve it with a little bubbly and you have a whole dinner party.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I think we need to try. I need
Let's
to try these.
Yes. Sorry, I have some big spoons here. So will you try this? And I'm going to get you a little bowl of soup. Yes.
Okay, I will try this. Oh my goodness. Try to get a bite here.
Put a little garnish
Oh
on.
my god. This is
I
so
love that
good.
I can feed you.
I love that you can feed me too. I wish you could feed me every day.
So I've got the soup here, and I always garnish my soups with a little something. I've got another spoon
Oh
for
my
you here.
gosh, you guys.
Try this one. I'll take that one for you.
Okay.
Try this, and I put
I'm
a
like, I
little.
don't want you to take my spoon. I want more.
I put a little dates and a little pumpkin
Where they
seeds
can't
on
see it,
there to make it look pretty. Again, back to eating with your eyes.
Oh my goodness.
So see, this just feels good in a winter's day at the beginning of the year. After all the holiday richness, this is a really good dish
Oh my
to
gosh,
make.
this is so good. And it's carrots, and if I could make something like this and trick my kids, there's a lot of good healthy things in here. And it's really healthy.
And delicious. I mean,
It's
that's
so
the thing.
delicious. It's
You
beautiful.
get the flavor.
It's delicious. Oh my gosh, it's so good. And then I have the one more that I should probably try.
Let me see if I can get you a spoon real quick.
Okay.
Sorry, it's a big one.
We'll take the big guy. Okay, I'm gonna try this. And what was this one
This
called?
is the chicken. This is our protein bowl.
Okay.
This is our chicken and greens,
Sprouts.
and our blistered tomatoes and
is gonna be
sprouts
a
and
big
greens.
The camera's gonna get me looking like a crazy fool.
Here you go, big bite.
Oh my god.
Good,
This
right?
is also very good.
And so easy, simple, good ways to start off the new year.
What are 3 tips you could give everybody that's intimidated to start something? Because I think cooking something different that you've never tried, you've never bought it at the store, is very intimidating. What are 3 tips you could give everybody?
Try one new thing a week. Just purchase one new ingredient on your trip to the grocery store and try that and see if you can incorporate it. Grains are a great place to start. Try a different grain than you've ever made before. I think keeping those tasting spoons, I have to say, and I think higher heat. Getting things up, cooking them a little quicker, higher heat, and developing that caramelization and that flavor.
Okay. Is there 3 ingredients that I could keep in my kitchen that I could use for just everything?
3 ingredients: good olive oil,
Okay.
a great vinegar, and some good kosher sea salt.
Okay, because you can do that. You can saute.
Tay.
You can add it in.
It can be a dressing. You can season, and having 3 of those quality products would always serve you well.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, I think we've got everything that we need here. This is incredible. I've learned about beets, and hopefully you guys have learned. I mean, we used 1 sheet and we roasted a ton of different vegetables. The soup, I mean, it was really simple to make.
So simple.
And I mean, some of those are basics too. I mean, I think a lot of people have onions and olive oil. I mean, you already have these things in your cabinet.
And carrots
most of
are
the
so
time.
inexpensive. This whole big pot of soup is a really inexpensive, delicious dish. And the thing with soups, they get better each day.
And remember to get your tasting spoons and keep them next to your stove. That way you can taste and get a second chance. And that is all that we have today. But thank you so very much.
Thanks for having me.
I can't wait to sign up for my own little class by myself. This place is amazing. And we will see you guys soon. Thanks for watching.